Metal Gear Solid 3D Snake Eater. Greetings and salutations, everyone. Detective Masterclass here with another, hopefully, full playthrough. We'll see how well the emulation holds up. I hope it holds up. I really want to play through this game. This is Metal Gear Solid 3D Snake Eater, as you can see. It is a remake of Metal Gear Solid 3 for the Nintendo 3DS system. Yeah, losing my marbles here. I'm getting too excited. But it's a remake of Metal Gear Solid 3 for the Nintendo 3DS. And I've always wanted to play this, but since I never had a 3DS, I kind of missed out. Now, I am playing this on an emulator, because, again, I don't have a 3DS. I don't have a 3DS, so we'll see how this goes. Apparently, the compatibility for this game is not so great. So if it fucks up and explodes, well, hey, we tried. Now, as you can see, this mouse here? I put the touchscreen down here. Up here is a kind of a negative space because this is the top screen of the 3DS and this is the bottom. I'll probably put a picture of I'll put something here, I don't know. And I think these black bars top and bottom will be here too because this screen down here messes with the aspect ratio, but we'll see. Anyway, so new game. What is your favorite Metal Gear Solid? Oh, let's see. I'm playing MGS for the first time. I like MGS 1, 2, 3, 4. I like Peace Walker. I like all the MGS games. Decisions. I think they had this in the original one too. I like all of them. Yeah, sure. Select difficulty. Standard, please, because I am using a completely different control scheme here. Yes, let's do it. Well, like I was saying, this is a remake of Snake Eater for the 3DS, and they've changed a couple things, notably the control system.
After the end of World War II, the world was split into two.
East and West. This marked the beginning of the era called the Cold War. You're gonna see my mouse pointer on the, or mouse cursor on the screen there, so that's just how it's gonna be. Or maybe I could hide it under the picture, I don't know. We'll see. Can we check this out? Oh, please don't crash. I really hope this doesn't crash and just is like, alright, you can't play this anymore. But notable improvements include they added crouch walking. They added being able to move and shoot at the same time while aiming down sights. Stuff from Metal Gear Solid 4. This is based on Peace Walker's engine, from what I can understand. Like, they took Metal Gear Solid 3's mechanics, put it into Peace Walker, and then reshipped it. They kind of redid the models a bit and, you know, upped the shaders so things kind of look a little bit better.
Alright, ready to go.
And I think there's a couple other things, but I don't know. I'll point them out as I see them. I've played this game so many times as a kid, so I should be able to spot any differences. But then again, I will probably be so dumb and stupid that I will completely miss everything.
Put out that cigar. Connecting oxygen hose to interior connector. Put on your mask.
Yeah, like Snake here, his hair and everything is already a lot more detailed than on the PS2 version.
Does this panty waste know what he's doing?
Approaching release point.
10 minutes to drop off.
Hey, are you deaf?
So put out the cigar and put on your mask. Let me tell you something. Seeing this beginning as a kid was like the best thing in the world.
Depressurization complete.
Checking oxygen supply.
6 minutes to drop off. Opening
This
rear
is the
hatch.
best right here, boy. Sunrise.
External temperature minus 46 degrees Celsius. 2 minutes to drop off. Stand up.
My boy. Let's kick some ass.
You'll be falling at 130 miles per hour. Try not to get frostbite from the wind chill.
1 minute to drop off. Move to the rear.
Activate bailout model.
This is one for the history books. The world's first Halo jump.
At the time, I didn't know that
10
meant
seconds
high
to
altitude,
drop
low
off.
opening.
Stand by.
Actually, you know what? I'll be quiet. I want to enjoy this.
Status okay. All green.
Prepare for drop off. Countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Spread your wings
And fly. God be with you.
Yes! This apparently right here, this roll is a Kamen Rider reference, by the way. Hell yeah. Now, I was about maybe, I want to say maybe 10 or 11 years old when I
I've
first
got some
played this
important
game.
news.
My dad brought it home and was like, hey,
Head of
play
the
this.
CIA
This looks
has
pretty
finally
cool. And I'm
given
like,
us the green
okay.
light for the virtuous
And
mission.
Virtual mission.
I just remember
No, the virtuous
booting it up and just
Future
playing
of
that
our Fox
opening
unit depends on
sequence and just
Seeds will
being
be
like
officially organized into a
completely,
unit.
utterly amazed
Virtuous
at what the
mission.
PlayStation 2 could do.
Sounds like some kind of
Because at the
initiation
time, I
ritual.
think,
You know, don't get cocky.
like
this is
before
the
that,
training.
the only games I really played were like
what
PS1
exactly
games
is
and
this
like
wonderful mission?
fucking like Stuart Little and
Well,
Treasure Planet for PlayStation 1.
About 2 years
So then I went
ago,
from that to this, and well,
certain Soviet scientists requested
I just
asylum
I was never the
west
same
to
since.
one of our mobs. His name is Nikolai.
But yeah, no,
Stepanovich
I
Sokolov.
remember my dad buying this for
He's head
me.
of the OKB
And
754
I thought it was like the
design
best thing in the
bureau, one of
world,
Soviet's
but I also
top
didn't
secret
fully
weapon
understand
research
what was happening in it because I was so young.
Foremost expert on weapons
And
development.
like I still remember the box art. It's
Isn't
the
that
one
famous
where
rocket scientist?
Snake,
The very same.
he's in tree bark camo and he's
On
like
April
pressed up
12th,
against a tree and he's hiding in.
1961, the Soviets
from the
achieved first
Spetsnaz
manned
guys.
spaceflight
And then on the
in
back,
history.
it's like
The Earth was
the
blue.
battle for
There was
survival,
no
and like
God.
you see Snake doing
Well
CQC and like shooting
The rocket
people
that
and like
carried Yuri Gagarin
like punching
orbit
snakes and
was the
stuff.
A1.
And I was like, this is awesome.
Rocket.
But
Sokolov
so
is said
when
to
I
be
got
man
to
most
the,
responsible
I'll try to
for the
replicate it
multi-engine
here when I
cluster
get to
used
it. But
man the rocket.
when I got to the
After
first
Gagarin's
actual
flight,
enemy encounter,
Sokolov left
because the first couple areas in this game are
Become
like
the head of the
completely
newly
empty.
established
Also, the footage
design
seems to be sped up.
From a lowly
I don't think the
technician to head of
60
design
FPS
bureau.
patch is
That's quite a success
doing the
story.
cutscenes
So why
too
you want
well
to-
here.
It seems he's
Everything's a
become
lot
afraid of his
faster
own
than I
creations.
remember it. I don't think it's supposed to be this fast.
Call it a
Anyway,
crisis
so
of conscience.
And for
like the
that,
first couple
he left his
areas in this
country
game are
and was
completely
left
empty,
behind and went over
except
to
for
France.
animals like flora
Not
and
exactly.
fauna,
One of his
so that you can get a handle on the
family
controls and
also
stuff.
to be taken safely to
And
the west.
you know, I was like, oh, this is kind of like a hunting game. That's kind of cool. You know, completely oblivious to the enemy patrols and whatnot. And when you finally get to the enemy bad
The
guys,
security on the eastern side was still full of
like that
holes.
exclamation noise, that alert noise was the scariest fucking thing. And I stopped playing the game. Like, I completely stopped playing the game because it freaked me out so much. Because, you know, it makes that whoom, like that. And I was like, what the hell is going on? And then they start swarming you and shooting you. And it was just all too much for me. It was just too much for a young detective. So I stopped playing it for maybe,
The Cuban Missile Crisis.
man, maybe like
October the 16th.
4 or 5 months. Like, it would just like sit there. And like, I'd boot it up sometimes and play the opening. But then I'd get to the first enemy encounter and then I'd stop playing. Because I'd be like, this is too scary, I can't play this game. But then a family friend came over during one of our parties, and he's like, oh, you got Snake Eater, huh? And I was like, yeah, it's a hard game. And he's like, it's not hard at all. And keep in mind, this kid was probably maybe 2-3 years older than me. And he's like, alright, cool, can I play it? I was like, yeah, sure, go ahead. And then I watched him play it. And I thought, like, this is fucking badass. Like, because he started just blasting through all the bad guys, sneaking around, doing all kinds of cool things. And I remember really liking the story and all that, and all the characters. And then he got up to the part in Grozny Grad where you're in the prison, and the party ended and he had to go home. And then I was like, okay, I'll try to pick this up and see how it goes. And I started a new game on very easy. And then, you know, I pushed myself through. When I got to the first enemy encounter, I was like, I have to fucking get through this. Like, I can't be scared. I have to get through this. And I pushed through, and I did it. So, you know. But I have a lot of fond memories of this game, so I'm very excited to play this 3DS remake. For context, this is before Metal Gear Solid Delta comes out. Whenever Delta is going to come out, but they are remaking this game again. And it has not come out yet. And what am I trying to say? But, so from what I can tell, some elements from this remake are also present in Delta. So, for example, the quote-unquote title screen in Metal Gear Solid Delta, where it shows like the trees and the forest and all that, it looks like it came straight from this one. Because if you go back, the startup screen here and the intro screen, like, it had the trees and the flora and fauna and all that. So I guess they're also going to be taking cues from the original game and this game. So I think it'd be interesting to compare and contrast the differences and see what, you know, has been changed and whatnot.
Same technology.
Also,
I guess you're right. We don't know the details.
Why?
It appears to be a new kind of nuclear device.
Why is the screen black?
For half a year now, the Soviets have been conducting frequent nuclear tests at Semipalatinsk.
I see. Well, like I said, the emulation is not perfect. So, I bet because the footage, the historical footage was being sped up because it's at 60 FPS.
No.
I guess that video file kind of like burnt out. Like it ran its course. So now all we have is the audio. But basically, all you need to know is that, so basically, some Russian guy was making a big crazy weapon. And actually, no, let's go back even further. So, Major Zero, the British guy, our commanding officer, he saved this Russian guy. He helped him defect over to the West. And, like, it was like all hunky-dory till the Cuban Missile Crisis happened. And then, we traded him back to Russia so that we would avoid nuclear war. But now Russia is using the Russian guy to build a new weapon. And now we're going to try and get him out again. And hopefully avert big explosions. Or something like that. I don't know. But that's interesting. That's interesting to know that the 60 FPS patch does. Like I said, we are emulating this and it's not perfect.
Listen up, Jack.
Oh, I've also liked this a lot. I love this, where you'll see like an R, or in the original early release, a R1 button, and you can hold it and like look through Snake's eyes. I really like that.
If we don't get Sokolov back
But yeah,
before that
see,
weapon is
like he said,
complete, we'll be facing a major
we're
crisis.
facing a major crisis, Snake. The clock is ticking.
Once we've confirmed the rescue,
Maybe look
Sokolov,
up.
stand by at the
Like,
recovery
look, it's the
point.
Fox
The
logo.
recovery
I don't
balloon will
think
be
we should
dropped at
have that on a
point.
parachute. Like, aren't we supposed to
Helium
be
will
like
pumped into the balloon to inflate it.
some
The
super
process takes
secret
about 20
special
minutes.
organization?
Once it's complete, the gunship's arm will latch onto the balloon and pull it up.
The Fulton
Surface-to-air recovery system. I'm familiar with the theory. I'm probably going to say a lot of lines. I apologize in advance, but
Do you think Sokolov
I kind of
is
do
up to
this when I just play it by myself anyway.
The shock
So.
will be less than during a parachute jump, and the arm can handle up to 500 pounds.
So you're planning on
Going over the border in a single combat Talon?
She's equipped with two 6-barrel 20mm Vulcan cannons, as well as two
Also, yes,
40mm
this is the
machine guns.
Fulton surface-to-air recovery system that's used in Peace Walker, except not using
Even with the fuel
helicopters.
in the reserve tank,
We're going to be
facing
using a
4-hour time
big
limit.
fuck-ass
If all
airplane.
goes well, it shouldn't take more
But it's
than a
the
few
same
hours.
kind of theory.
home in time for dinner?
But if anything goes wrong,
You'll be eating
Eating
dinner,
breakfast, and all the rest of your meals in the jungle. I've always kind of wondered, why is Snake an olive drab during this opening segment here? Shouldn't he be like changed into Tiger Stripe or something? I always thought that was weird. And why is he wearing splitter? That's like the indoor ops. It's the indoor ops camo. And here it comes. As a kid, I always wondered why Snake didn't just, like, throw the things off the cliff, like, into the valley below. Why does he, like, leave it up there? There he is! Look at his new textures! Look at his new shaders! Look at all that! Look at the hair follicles. But yeah, look, he's wearing splitter, which, for the face paint, which is for urban ops. And he's wearing olive drab. I would think he would jump in wearing, like, tiger stripe or, like, fucking tree bark or something at least.
Do you copy? You're already in enemy
Also note the
territory.
codec screen.
Somebody might be
In the
listening
original PS2
From here on
release,
out, we'll be using code names
it has
to
like kind of a
refer to each other.
green overlay and
Your
like
code
a
name for this mission will be
it's like
Naked
sectioned
Snake.
off by grid
I'll be
squares,
referring to you as
but here in the
Snake from
3DS
now on.
version they've gone
Not
with
to
a
mention your real
monochromatic black and white.
Snake?
Well, you don't like snakes?
What do you mean?
You've eaten one before, haven't you?
In survival training?
In survival training.
I'm glad to hear that.
I don't know if I'd ever
If I ever
order
order
one
one at a restaurant,
Be
but
careful, you might not have a choice.
What about you, Major? What should I call you?
Let's see. I'll be Tom. Call me Major Tom.
David Bowie reference.
This will be a sneaking mission. You must not be seen by the enemy. You must leave no trace of your presence. Is that clear? This kind of infiltration is the Fox Unit's speciality. In other words, weapons and equipment are procured on site. That goes for food as well. You're completely naked, just as your name implies.
Great. Now
I see why you asked me if I like
snakes.
snakes.
I suppose calling me Snake.
Snake was your idea of a joke too.
No, there's a good reason for that. I'll tell you later when the time is right.
Gotcha.
I actually don't
Back to the
remember why.
subject. How
What the
exactly
good reason
am I
is.
supposed to feed myself?
You've been issued
Legitimately,
a knife
I don't
and a
remember
tranquilizer
why.
gun. Use them to hunt for food. You'll also find some medical
Well, I guess we'll
supplies in
learn
your
as the
backpack.
story goes on.
Yeah, about the
About the backpack, I
lost it
in a tree on the way down.
I see. Well, you'd better go back and get it then. You know where it is?
No problem. I can see it from here. It's stuck on a branch.
I'll just throw a rock or something at it.
To climb a tree, stand in front of it.
Yeah, the 60 FPS messes with the footage.
I'll be monitoring your progress over the radio. We can't risk violating Soviet airspace, but I'll be...
He says that, but we were already violating
frequency
Soviet
is
airspace by dropping Snake in.
140.85.
Like, he's hovering above us
I'll
right
give you a
now.
call if I need to talk to you. If you need to talk to me, use the send function. Okay, Snake, go get your backpack.
Okay, whatever you say, Major Tom. I'll go over there and get that backpack right quick. Alright, so check it out, right? So if you've ever played Peace Walker on the PSP, it's kind of the same sort of deal. Because, you know, there are no triggers and there is no right analog stick. Now, I am playing it on an emulator, but it's very similar to the original controls, quote unquote. I have to use the face buttons, the triangle, circle, X, square buttons to aim or move the camera. And to switch weapons, since we don't have triggers, I use the left and right D-pads, as you can see here. Now, as you can see, here's my little... Pretend this is my finger, right? I don't know if it's like this in the actual game, or if it's just a quirk of the emulation. I want to say it's just a quirk of the emulation. But if I do this, I have to hold this down. And then, like, see, I can't actually select any of these. I have to actually go over here and use the controller to select something. Now, I don't know if that's the emulation or if it's like that in the actual game. Like, if you have to, like, get your fat finger and, like, hold it down or, like, See, not even like double tapping or anything will change anything, so. Again, I'm just gonna say that's a quirk of the emulation. But, anyway, one of the big things they've added to this game is this. Not just crouching, but crouch movement, crouch walking, crouch running, and all that good stuff. Look at this! In the original, you could only do this, or you could do this. If you did crouch and then tried to move forward, Snake would automatically go into prone and then start walking, or start crawling rather. Also note, you can move and attack at the same time. It'll probably be easier to show it when I get a gun, but it's just like Peace Walker. Also note in the bottom right corner, since we don't have a dedicated first-person button, we have to use the touchscreen. And again, you can also move and shoot and do all that in the first person as well. Now, the only downside about this is that you can't peek. So, if, like in the original, if you were FPSing, first-person shooting, if you were looking through Snake's eyes and you wanted to peek around a corner, you would hold R1 to FPS, then you would hold R2 or something, and then Snake would, like, lean. But then when you let go, he'd go back to the original position. You can't do that here in this one, which is kind of a bummer, but, you know, you can already move like this, which, you know, makes sense. But that's kind of a bummer for me. I really like doing the peaks and stuff like that. Oh, and you can't do tiptoes. So, again, related to the peak thing, hold R1 in the original game, and then if you hold L2 and R2 at the same time, Snake will actually go on his tiptoes, and you could peek over things. But again, you can't do that here. So, whatever. It is what it is. Anyway, let's go get our backpack. Oh, you can still quick change in this too. It's just a bit more awkward because you got to use the directional button. I will say, it feels a little bit weird not having the UI actually on the main screen and having it down there on the bottom right. Oh, that's going to be a problem. How do you... I see. Okay, so that's going to be interesting. So, again, since the face buttons are for camera work, you can't exactly press the X button just to go into a roll like that. You have to use R1. But if you hold it too long, Snake just uses a punch like that, so... You kind of have to, like, you have to feather tap it too. Oh, that's going to be a bit finicky. We'll see. Oh. Alright, so that's changed from the original. In the original, you would press the action button, and Snake would just automatically climb the tree. In this one, you actually have control. That's interesting. Also, note the gyro on the bottom, but since we're emulating it, you know, gyro's always going to be straight on, so don't have to worry about it. Oh, does this also mean I can't do pull-ups anymore? Because I can't do R1 or L2, R2. Yeah, I guess not. Alright. Interesting. Also, shh, story.
I see you've retrieved your backpack, Snake. To equip a weapon, it's necessary to take it out of your backpack.
Note the audio difference. They re-recorded some of the lines, mainly the control lines, so that, you know, it makes sense for the 3DS or whatever system.
Then press the enter button.
But, you know, this is probably...
weapons in your possession.
Oh, God.
Select the weapon you want to
6-7 years after the original cast did their first passes, so they all kind of sound a bit different.
Just do the same thing from item.
Got it. Use the survival viewer backpack.
Yep, that's right.
Yep, that's
Survival
right.
is fundamental.
Survival is fundamental. See, Major Tom was a bit higher there in the new audio. And I mean, it's a whole slew of things, like they're using different microphones, maybe the voice director is different, not a bit different, it's a completely different voice director. Or maybe not, I don't know. The room that their recording is different. Maybe they just used blue Yetis and just kind of did this all over Skype. Who knows?
Puppy tranquilizer gun?
That's right. It's been fitted with its own suppressor. However, the suppressor will deteriorate every time you fire. Once its durability reaches 0, the noise suppression effect will be gone. So don't get too trigger happy with it. The suppressor's durability is shown in the icon.
Durability.
Any weapons and equipment.
Since this was my first ever Metal Gear Solid game, when I went back and played Metal Gear Solid 1 and 2, and I guess to a lesser extent 4, I didn't play 4 till a while later. Like, I was completely thrown off by, like, you use rations to heal, and there's no stamina bar, and suppressors were infinite in 2 and in 1, and in this one you gotta find more and scavenge and whatnot. Like, it was a big shock. Well, I wouldn't say it was a big shock, but it was a big change, I should say.
Soldiers in Russia, it could spark an international incident. You can't let anyone see you. You can't let the enemy know you're there. This is a stealth mission. You're a ghost, Snake, in every sense of the word.
And why didn't you name me
no
Ghost?
rescue if you're captured. The military and US government will deny any involvement in the affair.
Then I'll just have
to take care of myself, huh?
I'm afraid so. You've been given a fake death pill for that purpose. SIS guidelines stipulate that soldiers on covert ops like this one be issued a potassium cyanide capsule. Tape it to your body so you can take it when you need to.
How generous of you.
Use it if you're taken prisoner by the enemy. It'll send you into a state of false death.
Yeah, the footage is definitely sped up.
That I'm really dead. So how do I come back to life?
Just take the revival pill.
You mean that thing they put in my tooth before the mission?
That's the one. But be careful. If you remain in a state of false death for too long, nothing will be able
this
to
is
bring
the
you back.
60s, right?
Remember
Like,
that.
I'll keep it in mind. You said this was a solo
like
mission,
dental
right?
specialty that good that they were able to drill something and like
Correct.
hollow out a
Mission
tooth,
rests
put something in it.
entirely in
No,
your
hollow out a tooth, lay down like
One-man army.
a
Relax. There's a
not a
support
net,
team
but
ready
like a
to back
safety
you up
barrier,
over the radio.
and then put like a tooth in it.
I'll introduce them to you. This time, survival is
I
of
don't know.
utmost importance. The first member of the support team will be in charge of monitoring your physical condition, acting as a medic, so to speak, as well as recording your mission data. She's a
I guess you
member
could
of
also
Fox
call her
as
a
well.
paramedic.
She's here on the gunship with me.
She.
Hello, Snake. I'm paramedic. Nice to meet you.
Paramedic.
As in a medic who comes in by parachute.
Aren't you going to tell me your
Tell me
real
your
name?
real name.
Are you going to tell me yours, Mr. Snake?
My name, huh?
It's
John Doe.
John
I will call
Doe.
you Jack for short. You're a regular Captain Nemo.
A name means nothing on the battlefield. After a
week,
no one
has a name.
What's your name?
What's your name?
Jane Doe.
Very funny.
Very funny.
I wasn't joking, but I'll tell you my name only if you manage to make it back alive.
It's Dr. Clark.
My frequency is 145.73.
She's also in charge of recording your mission data. Whenever you want to save,
Go to
send a message over the reserved
140.96
save
like we
frequency.
always do in these games.
140.96.
So saving lets me record my mission data.
That's right. It also records the state of your health.
Good to know.
Good to know.
There's one more person I want to introduce you to, Snake.
Huh?
Speaking of snakes, you remember the boss, don't you? A legendary soldier and your mentor. Actually, it was the boss that got the DCI's authorization in the first place. She's going to be serving as Fox's mission advisor.
Boss is?
She also helped me plan this mission. She and I were at SAS together.
Jack, is that you? How many years has it been?
Boss?
That's right.
It's
It's me.
Mrs. Puff from SpongeBob.
Talk to me. Let me hear your voice.
The very lovely Lori Allen,
5
everybody.
years, 72 days and 18 hours.
You've lost weight.
You can tell just by the sound of my voice.
Of course I can. I know all about
I'm just... I'm sorry, but I'm just thinking back to when I was a kid,
About you.
watching all this
What's
and just
that
being
supposed to
like,
mean?
damn,
Why'd
I
you
don't
disappear
understand
on me
any
all
of
a
this,
sudden?
but
I
it
was
seems
on a
pretty
top secret
serious.
mission. You didn't need me anymore.
But there were still so many things I wanted you to teach me.
No, I taught you everything you needed to know about fighting techniques. I taught you all I could. The rest you needed to learn on your own.
Techniques, sure. But what about how to think,
Had to think like a soldier.
How to think like a soldier? I can't teach you that. A soldier needs to be strong in spirit, body, and technique. And the only thing you can learn from someone else is technique. In fact, technique doesn't even matter. What's most important is spirit. Spirit and body are like two sides of a single coin. They're
Like
the
spirit
same thing.
camo.
I can't teach you how to think. You'll just have to figure it out for yourself. Listen to me, Jack. Just because soldiers are on the same side right now doesn't mean they always will be. Having personal feelings about your comrades is one of the worst sins you can commit.
Yes, but as always in these types of stories, that is a sin that everybody makes.
They change along with the times. Yesterday's good might be tomorrow's evil.
Is that why you abandoned me?
No, it had nothing to do with you. I already told you, Jack. I was on a top secret mission.
Yeah, it was called
A
Operation
soldier has
Abandoned
to follow
Snake.
whatever orders he's given. It's not his place to question why. But you're looking for a reason to fight. You're a natural-born fighter, but you're not quite a soldier. A soldier is a political tool, nothing more. That's doubly true if he's a career soldier. Right and wrong have no place in his mission. He has no enemies and no friends. Only the mission.
Only the
You
mission.
follow the orders you're given. That's what being a soldier is.
I do whatever I have to get the job done.
I don't think about politics.
That's not the same thing. Sooner or later, your conscience is going to bother you. In the end, you have to choose whether you're going to live as a soldier or just another man.
This is some
with
heavy
gun.
shit for an
There's a
11-year-old to
saying in the
fucking take
Orient,
in.
Loyalty to the end. Do you know what it means?
Patriotic.
It means devoting yourself to your country.
I follow the president and the top brass.
I like to
I'm ready
imagine
to
after
die
I
for
heard
them if
all of this,
necessary.
I fucking went to my
President and
little
the top brass
plastic
won't be
armament
there
and I'm
forever.
like,
Once their terms are up,
Life
others
is
will
hell.
take their place.
war is hell, boys.
Will of the leader, no matter
War
who's
is
in
hell,
charge.
boys.
People aren't the ones
Things
who
are-
dictate the missions.
Things are bad out
Then
there.
who does?
That's what it means
The
to be a
times.
soldier.
People's values change over time.
Also, I
And
sounded
so
like
do the
Mickey Mouse
leaders
as a
of
kid,
country.
apparently.
So there's no such thing as an enemy in absolute terms. The enemies we fight are only enemies in relative terms, constantly changing with the times. As long as we have loyalty to the end, there's no point in believing in anything, even in those we love.
And that's the way a soldier's supposed to think.
The only thing we can believe in with absolute certainty is the mission, Jack.
All right, but do me a favor.
What is it?
Call me Snake.
Snake. Oh, right. Your codename is Snake. It suits you well.
That's right. The legendary unit that the boss put together during World War II was a snake. The Cobra Unit, a group of heroes that brought the
Is
war
that
to
why
an end and
Major
saved the
Tom
world.
called us
As long as
named a
you've got
snake?
a legendary hero backing you up, you'll be fine. Isn't that right, Snake?
Yeah, I can't think of anyone else I'd rather have with me. Oh, and one more thing, boss.
Yes,
It's good to hear your voice
It's good
again.
to hear your voice again.
same here. After all, who knows if either of us will make it out alive? Snake, you are always best at urban warfare and infiltrating buildings.
Metal Gear Solid 1 and
But
2.
this is the jungle. Survival is going to be key. Those
CQC.
CQC techniques I taught you are sure to come in handy.
CQC. Close
Quarters combat, huh?
I've been in the Green Berets for the past few years. I'm probably
Oh
pretty rusty.
yeah, I forgot. Snake was a
Not to
Green
worry.
Beret for a
I'll
bit
be
after
here to
he
help
split
you
ways with the
remember.
boss.
After all, this is your first actual survival mission. I'll be supporting you over the radio.
Where are you, boss? Next to the major?
I mean, if he
The
was
boss
part of the Green
communicating
Berets,
with
this
us
is
by
around
radio
when
aboard
Vietnam was
a
popping off,
Hermit-class
right?
submarine in the Arctic Ocean.
Or am I
My
wrong?
frequency is
I don't know, but
141.80.
I would still think that Snake
Call
would
me if you
have
need
some
my
kind of
advice on
survival
battle
training.
techniques.
Or survival experience, rather.
Your mission is to
Just
retrieve
humping it out in
Dr. Sokolov.
the jungle and doing crazy
Dr.
shit.
Sokolov is being held in an abandoned factory located to the north of your current position. Avoid heavy combat and don't let anyone see you. Don't forget that this is a stealth mission.
This is the best right here.
Snake, try to remember some of the basics of CQC.
Knife. Gun. Knife gun. Commencing virtuous mission now. From what I can tell, they did the Japanese dub first, and then did the English dub afterwards. So that's why, like, you don't really notice it till you play through the game a couple times, I think. But you'll notice that, like, the lip flaps and whatnot are a bit off sometimes, or they go too fast. Anyway, so check this out, right? Hold right, and then select whatever, right? But select the pistol, and look, you can move and shoot. And if you want to switch, like this. Oh, and auto aim gets its own thing like this. This is basically the same as just running around in the PS2 version and just aiming. But look, they got third TPS, third person shooting, over the shoulder, and it uses the Peace Walker thing. Also interesting to note is, so let's fire off a round. Oh, here, let's take out the suppressor. Let's fire off a round here. A couple rounds. Do that, right? And then, normally, I don't remember if you could do this in Peace Walker, it's been a while, but in the original Metal Gear Solid 3, to reload a gun, you'd have to quick change. But in this, you can also, while you're aiming down sights, just press up on the D-pad. Then Snake reloads. Could you actually do that when you're not aiming? Oh, you can! Look at that. Amazing. Alright, oh wait. Before we go, we gotta put our clothes on here. Woodland. And Tiger Stripe. Now, interestingly enough, for this 3DS version, you can take pictures of things and turn it into camo. But of course, since I'm using an emulator and I don't really have a webcam or anything, we're just gonna be using the base paints. Oh. They give you this? Limitless grenades. Huh, interesting. Anyway, I'll rock the Tiger Stripe in the Woodland for now, and I will switch as needed. Oh wait, because this is a new thing, let's just keep doing this. Ooh, actually, before I forget. So, hold on, I want to see. Okay. And then what if I... Okay, so that's interesting. So if you press select or start, both of them will just open up the survival viewer. I guess because the touchscreen is here, they want you just to do that, but surprisingly enough, it looks like you don't really need to use the touchscreen if you don't have to, other than just like switch views and stuff. I never use the motion detector in this game, and I never use the sonar, so I always unequip those, and I unequip the directional mic, so I'm a bit lighter. Yeah. You can use L1 and R1 to move around like this. So yeah, you really don't need the touchscreen other than to just change, like, views and stuff. Anyway, on to our quest. Oh yeah, see, that's gonna mess me up now. I gotta remember the feather tap for the roll here. Isn't there supposed to be like a grenade around here somewhere? Oh, there it is. Actually, let's see here. Let's see how good this over-the-shoulder aiming is. This feels weird, playing Metal Gear Solid 3 like this. Oh, pardon me. Where you going? Oops. Oh. That went just as well as I thought it would. Nice. Oh. Oh. Oh, look at that. Look at the foliage distance draw. Or draw distance, you fucking idiot. That's pretty bad. Oh, this is a 3DS thing. Anyway, like I mentioned before, these first couple areas are like completely empty. So that you can kind of get a handle on like how Snake moves and how the game plays. But see, look, I'm gonna be doing that all the time. Got a feather touch, feather touch, feather touch, feather touch to roll. But this next section up here, this is where the bad guys show up. So this is when things get serious here. Now, before we go, let's have a good snack here, shall we?
Tasty.
Tasty.
Pretty tasty.
Pretty tasty. Gosh dangus. I'm gonna be just punching the air a lot. I apologize in advance. Major, I've spotted two enemy soldiers.
They're probably KGB troops sent to guard
Oh, can you still... Oh, you can! You can still zoom in.
And grenades.
Snake, your presence in Soviet territory is already a violation of international law. You can't let the Kremlin find out that the CIA and the American government are involved. Contact with the enemy is strictly prohibited. Don't engage them in battle either. This is a stealth mission. Got that?
The Major
Okay,
is right.
Major.
The point of this mission is to sneak through the jungle without being seen. The success of the mission depends on how well you use your camouflage. Change your camouflage by selecting Camouflage from the Survival Viewer.
They didn't re-record
The
this.
Uniform option lets you pick your uniform, while the Face option lets you change your face paint. Choosing camouflage that blends in with your surroundings will help you conceal yourself more effectively. Also, don't forget that anything that moves will stand out in the jungle. If you just stand up and run around like an idiot, you're bound to be spotted. But if you crawl instead,
Or you can use the new crouch
walking
walking mechanic and kind of break the game because the game was not built around that.
Looking at the camo index. The camo index shows how well your current camouflage blends in with the surrounding area. The higher the value, the harder you are to spot, and vice versa. The key is to make yourself one with nature. Keep that in mind as you go along, okay?
Okay, boss. Alright, let's get serious here. So yeah, as a kid, when I played this, I fucking was not ready for any of this, and it scared the shit out of me. But when I did actually start finally, for realsies playing the game, what I would always do is hide in this log over here. Oh, let's turn around here. I would hide in this log, and then when the guy walks around, I'd snipe him here, but now I'm a real man. I'm a full boy now, so I don't have to worry about that, because now I can just do this. Oh yeah, they also got rid of stalking, so well, I'll explain that later. CQC.
Speak. We won't hand over Sokolov. Speak. Let go of me.
Oh. Okay, there we go. And then right is the slit throat.
Answer me. We won't hand over Sokolov.
Alright, cool. Oh, cool. And then when you drag... Alright, yeah, so it's just like Peace Walker then. What the hell is going on over there? So originally in the PS2 game, you would use the circle button to use punches and kicks in CQC. Now, of course, you can't do that here because the face buttons are for camera. So they've reworked the entire system. And you use the R1 button, the right bumper. HVD, but we won't use it. They reworked the entire system to be based off of the right bumper. So now, you don't have to worry about accidentally... Oh yeah, I forgot to mention. The PS2 buttons are pressure sensitive. So... Careful. Or no, we're on normal, it should be fine. The PS2 buttons were pressure sensitive. So, if you came up to this guy here, right? And let's tease our way in here. So, for example, if you came up to this guy and, like, went to grab him... Uh-oh! No? Yeah, we're fine. If you went to grab him and then held down the circle button, like, too hard, you would just end up slitting his throat. Like that. That was also a big problem when we... Let's see. I don't remember if this guy... Oh.
What's wrong?
But yeah, so, like, if you held down the circle button too hard, you would slit their throats. So, yeah, it's why they changed it on this. Or part of the reason why, I guess. I think there's one more guy down there. Yeah, there he is. Anyway, let's keep going, shall we? I've already got an alert, but it's fine, though. It's fine. I'm not going for no alerts or anything. Also, shout out to this scene. I fucking snake smile on this. Look at that. Look at that smile. He knows what he's gonna do. He knows what he wants to do. And oh boy, golly gee, is he gonna do it? I wonder if you can still hit it without using first person. Oh, you can. All right. Ah, for fuck's sake. Ah, for fuck's sake. Hey, hey, hey. No gyro for me, boys. Nah, I don't need it. I won't be using those weapons. Not in this playthrough. No gyro for me. I also seem to remember in the PS2 version, the text would pop up a bit faster. Like, it wouldn't be on a black screen for that long. Like, the snake would disappear and then the text would immediately show up. But I could be wrong on that. But I think that is a change that they've done for this version.
Major, I've reached
the abandoned factory where Sokolov is supposedly being held. This place is a dump.
I can't see Sokolov from here. The security
Oh god,
is tight.
that depth of field is not great.
There are sentries posted around the perimeter. I wonder how many are inside.
We're gonna have to do this very carefully.
Your objective, Sokolov, is inside the factory. They should be holding him in a room in the northeast section.
Northeast section.
Northeast section. Got it.
Be careful. Your mission is to bring Sokolov back alive. He must not be exposed to any kind of danger. Do not approach Sokolov while in the alert phase.
Right.
Right.
Oh, and one more thing, Snake.
You mean there's more?
You mean there's more?
No, it's just that when you get to Sokolov, I want you to tell him something from me.
And that is?
Sorry for being so late.
Is that all?
Is that all?
Understood.
Understood. Beginning my approach to the target. I think out of all the areas in this game that'll be broken by crouch walk, probably this will be like pretty high up there. Especially since like... That is so weird not being able to see foliage over there. Especially since like check this out, right? So when you stand up 35%, you crouch 65%, you go prone 85%. And then when you just walk like this, it's still 65%. So that's a pretty high camo index. So you can still like fuck about. You can still fuck about like this and still be fast and still hide from the bad guys. And from what I can tell, they haven't changed anything in Delta either. So it's still gonna be like this. Oops.
Just my imagination.
There's an M37 over there. Don't need it. Sokolov is in here. Sokolov, we gotta go, man. I wish you'd be like in Metal Gear Solid 1 where if you press up here, like, the camera will turn into an overhead view and you can see him. Kind of like with the DARPA. Oh yeah, right, you gotta use the controller on this. Like the DARPA chief and... the arms tech president in Metal Gear Solid 1, but whatever. There's a guy in there. But it's okay, I already got to the trigger point. My question is, like, that's like all stuff with the Shagohod, right? Like, wouldn't the KGB guys, like, take that from him and, like, put it safe, somewhere safe?
No. I'm a CIA agent. I've come to escort you back to the other side of the Iron Curtain.
You're CIA?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was sent by Major Zero, the man who got you out 2 years ago.
Zero?
I have a message from him.
What is it?
He said to tell you sorry for being so
Stop being
late.
a little bitch.
Did he now?
What does it mean?
What does it mean?
It means he's a man of his word.
Look at Snake's mullet. Looks really good in this
no
gun.
time for this. You have to get me out of here before they arrive.
Who's they?
Who's they?
I've played this game
Colonel
way too
Vulcan
long, man.
of Gru. You in the West know him as Thunderbolt.
Like
Thunderbolt.
the A-10 Warthog. Or no, they didn't have that yet, huh?
He's a member of the Army's extremist
Like the
faction, a man who seeks to seize control of the
P-47
motherland.
Thunderbolt?
Ever since the Cuban Missile
I don't
Crisis
know
2
the
years
designation
ago,
for that one.
Khrushchev has been pursuing
Also,
a policy of peaceful
fast forward
coexistence
footage.
with the West. Despite resistance and criticism from
Yeah,
hawks
this is
in the
definitely way
army
too fast.
and the provincial authorities, Khrushchev has managed to suppress the opposition so far. But the
Calm
failure
down,
of
man,
his
you're going too
agricultural
fast.
policies has put him in a precarious
I can only
position.
exposition so fast.
And on top of that, the tragedy last November.
President Kennedy's assassination.
Precisely.
It's all a conspiracy.
Khrushchev has lost his biggest partner, and his power base is rapidly crumbling away.
It looks like it only
A certain
happens
group
with
is planning to use this opportunity
this
to
kind of
seize
2D
power
footage.
by
The
ramming
actual
the
in-engine
anti-government
cutscenes
forces,
seem to be okay,
overthrowing
so...
Khrushchev and installing Brezhnev and Kosygin as leaders. The mastermind behind this plot is Colonel Volgin of the GRU. He has control over another.
He also
secret
has
weapons
unexplained
research
lightning
facility much like
powers.
this one, OKB-812.
No,
known
seriously,
as
we
the
never
Gronin
explained. He
Design
just kinda
Bureau,
has
and is
it.
using it to further his plans. But that is not enough to satisfy him. Now he's plotting to seize the secret weapon I have been developing here and use it as leverage in his bid for power.
Don't worry, Sokolov. He sounds like a boss character. I'll probably have to kill him later. So don't worry about it. I'll take care of it.
Says that they are going to make their move during the test.
Then the
Soldiers outside.
Exactly. They wouldn't need that many men. Just
I don't think they're very good at their job
inside.
anyway. Fucking Sokolov just
Their
burned all of
orders were to
that
prevent
research
Colonel
data
Volgin
that
from
I would
capturing
assume they would, like, want. And I don't think he has a
Even if
briefcase
it
or
meant
anything on
killing
him.
me
He
in the
probably just, like, had it
process.
shoved up his ass or something. They didn't, like, search him or anything.
Volgin will come. I'm sure of it. You must get me out of here before then.
He's a major character.
Leave it to me.
So he's probably gonna show up sooner or later.
By the way, your Russian is superb. Where did you learn to speak?
Oh yeah, what is cool here is that, so, like, we're hearing everything in English,
Is that so?
but this is all actually happening in Russian.
America's truly
But it's
a
kind of like that
frightening
Hollywood
country.
thing where, like it's in English for the audience, but,
No.
like, the implied thing
I
is
have
that
no
it's actually all
trouble with
happening in
this.
Russian.
Let's go.
Kind of like in The Hunt for Red October. Or, like, they speak in Russian first, but then they switch over to English. But they switch over to English. Bixby, no!
I didn't understand that.
You didn't understand
This
nothing.
is Snake. Sokolov is
I'm
safe
sorry
with
about
me.
that.
He's doing
Bixby,
fine.
why?
No injuries.
Good work, Snake. Now hurry
Bixby,
up and get
why do you
Sokolov
do
the
this to me?
recovery point. We'll rendezvous with you there.
I didn't
Roger.
understand that.
What about the sentries?
I
I
hate
had
you.
to kill them.
Bixby.
There was no other way. But no
I
one
hate
will
you.
know we were involved.
Sorry to
I
hear
see.
that.
What
I'll
about the
give you some
boss?
space.
We lost contact
Just
with
say
the
my
boss some
name
time
if you
ago.
need something.
What happened?
It's
Okay.
probably just a weak signal.
Bixby,
Just hurry and get Sokolov out of there.
I love you.
What a nice thing to say. I'm just thankful we get along so well.
Yeah, so fucking low. Anyway, like I was saying, so the thing is that this is all, when they're speaking, it's all in Russian, but we hear it in English. It's a kind of a cool thing. Oh, this is the best part right here. Keep an eye on Sokolov. Watch him do his CQC. Look at this. Sokolov's secret arts. Sokolov combat. He's like trying to do like a Kamehameha over there. Look at him.
Freeze!
Uh-oh. Busted by KGB.
So this is the legendary boss.
And then we meet Ocelot. This motherfucker. This fucking asshole.
We meet at last.
You're from the Ocelot unit of Spetsnaz. Huh. What's a GRU soldier doing here?
Soldier?
Soldier? That's Major Ocelot to you.
He's the Ocelot commander.
That's Major Ocelot to you.
This fucking spin.
Don't you forget
Look at
it.
this. Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here.
Sokolov is ours. Now get out of here.
Oh, they didn't animate that guy's eyes.
Never lets his prey escape.
What?
I guess the idea is that he shoots so fast that they can't react, but it just feels kind of like they all kind of just stand there. That's what it feels like. Skadoosh. Can't say it feels good to kill a comrade, even if it is for the GRU. I'm pretty badass, don't you think?
I can't say it feels good to kill a comrade, even if it is for the GRU.
Sokolov, take cover.
I will say, I like how Ocelot's like, yeah? That little gesture he does is like, eh? You're not the boss, are you?
You're not the boss, are you?
No. I'll be big boss later. But right now I'm small boss. Or no, I'm snake boss. I'm not the boss, I'm the snake.
GRU operatives!
What is that stance? Huh. That gun.
These are all patented to the snake. The snake's
You're
techniques.
not the boss. Then die.
The snake strikes! This was the best thing as a kid. I loved
Major!
watching Snake do the CQC here.
Leave it! Shoot the other one!
The snake strikes. The snake shoots. The snake rams. The snake breaks the back of your neck. The snake parries. The snake judo chops. The snake throws. Hip throw, very good. Also, Snake, you gotta rack the slide of the Mark 22. You already fired one, you gotta rack it back. That's what happens when you mess with the snake. Parry. Smash. Slam. Like, maybe it's like a whole kind of like, it's a feint, so that they don't realize he has to rack the slide back each and every time. But it's still like, a Snake, you gotta, if he has to shoot, he's still gonna have to rack it back.
Asking to have your gun jam on you. Besides,
I don't think you're cut out for an automatic in the first place.
You tend to
Twist your elbow to absorb the recoil.
That's more of a revolver technique.
Revolver technique.
Filthy American dog!
That's filthy American snake to you.
But that was some fancy shooting. You're pretty good.
And with that, Ocelot will never live that down.
Pretty.
You're pretty good. Or rather, I'm pretty good. Yeah. I'm badass. In Japanese, though, it's not. It's more. What did they say? Oh, it's. "ii sense da," or "you've got good sense," which has been localized here as "you're pretty good," and it's just. It's never stopped. Ocelot, you're pretty good. But so is Snake.
Major, do you read me?
I read you. Snake, you alright?
Yeah, I'm pretty good.
Snags. These guys were after Sokolov, too. Apparently, they were taking orders from a GRU colonel named Volgan.
A GRU colonel?
Part of an internal Soviet power struggle, according to Sokolov. Something
He also
between the
sounds like a
KGB and
boss
GRU,
character.
between
They call him the
Khrushchev's supporters
Thunderbolt.
and Volgans.
Sokolov was being guarded by the KGB and hunted by GRU? Snake, it sounds like this could be even hotter than Cuba.
I don't like it.
Oh, speaking of hotter, I've got my fan going. I hope you guys can't hear it.
Better hurry.
I've got a
Sokolov
noise
ran
gate,
off
so
by himself,
hopefully it's
but I'll catch up
neutralizing
to
it, but
We're counting on you.
if you guys can't hear it, I'm sorry, but it's just very hot right now. I'm sorry, I'm just too excited playing this fucking video game. That's right. You got your ass kicked by the Snake. Don't you ever forget it. Mousetrap. Now, if you get this mousetrap and put it down, you can come back later, hint, hint, and boop. You can come back later and, you know, keep it for yourself. And when you do that, you can capture something even better and even faster than you would normally. Man, I did a number on these guys. Anyway, so this has been Detective Masterclass's guide on how to beat Metal Gear Solid 3DS. Thank you for watching.
You've created a time paradox. Snake, you can't go changing the future like that.
Okay, Colonel, I'm sorry. Interestingly enough, the Colonel's voice actor in Japanese did the Japanese dub for Dr. Emmett Brown. You know, the doctor from the Back to the Future. Oh wait, the Mousetrap. The doctor from the Back to the Future films. It's interesting to me that, so you can still pick up and drag, but you can't, like in Metal Gear Solid 4, and I think you can do it in Peace Walker, where you just like tap their bodies. Like to get stuff. Huh, interesting. Anyway. Let's put some cheese down, shall we? And then go find Sokolov, because right now he's fucking about in the jungle, and knowing Sokolov, he probably will run into some shit. I also wanted to test this before we go. Can you move and... Oh, you can! And then so FPS. You can still move and shoot, that's so weird! In the original, you couldn't do this. Like, when you enter snipe mode, like, you stay in one place. Oh, and that's how you zoom, down here. Oh, wait. That's kind of cool. Alright, anyway, we gotta get back to work here. Don't worry, Sokolov. The Snake will save you. Ugh, I gotta practice this. Otherwise, I'm just gonna keep punching. Ah, you fucking idiot. I almost had it.
You okay?
Those men were from the Ocelot unit.
Spetsnaz?
Spetsnaz.
Yes. The best GRU has to offer. They're coming for me. I'm finished.
Calm down.
Calm down.
I'll get you out of
The
here,
Snake
I
is
promise.
here.
And we've got
I'll
some of the
save you.
best
Don't
backup
worry.
in this-
Look.
The Shagohod.
That's what they were.
I love the drums in this song.
Yes, the Shagohod. The treading behemoth. A tank capable of launching nuclear IRBM.
It can launch nuclear missiles from that kind of terrain.
Oh yes. And without support from friendly units.
A nuclear-equipped
I'm gonna have to fight that thing later, won't I? Oh, jeez.
Is that thing finished?
No, this is only the end.
I get that this is a test, but like,
It won't be
what did they
truly
fire out of
finished until we
the launcher?
Phase 2.
The weapon's true
They like
form.
just pack in like a bunch of smoked cheese and fire it
If it's
out?
completed and the Colonel gets his hands on it, it will mean the end of the Cold War.
The end of the Cold War?
Yes.
Yes. And then
the age of fear
the age of the hot war will truly begin.
World War.
No,
no
a world war. Even worse than a hot war. A lukewarm water. Lukewarm water war. Why did I say water there? I'm losing my fucking mind.
Please, take me to America. Quickly. They cannot complete it without my help.
Got it. Let's go.
Don't worry, the snake will take you home. So that we can avoid a lukewarm water world. Oh, that's probably why. I'm thinking of Kevin Costner. I think it's the emulation, but the depth of field seems to be very intense here. Sokolov, don't worry. Just play the game on emulator so you don't have to worry about gyro. Also, I wonder if Snake is taking Sokolov back to where the cliff is. Like where he landed first, and that's where they're gonna rendezvous. Who's that? Boss.
Boss?
Oh, I guess Snake doesn't make noise there. I could have sworn he did.
Good work, Jack.
What are you doing here?
What are you doing here?
Sokolov comes with me.
Are we having a co-op moment? Is this where the second player comes up? Bees! Or I guess they're hornets. Hornets! Ugh, God. Man, I've been stung by hornets before. This fucking sucks ass. Legitimately, this would be like the worst. Also, wouldn't a lot of those hornets be sucked into the engine of the hind up there? Like, those turbines are sucking in a lot of air, and even if they try to actively avoid it, I'm pretty sure they get sucked in there. And then the engines backfire, they explode, and then the hind just lands on the bridge and kills everybody. I think that's the more realistic scenario here.
My friends, let us fight together again.
I have waited long.
I have waited long for this day.
We
will fight with you once more. Welcome back.
Welcome,
boss.
Boss.
Now that all 5 of us are together,
You gotta love the Foley on the
it's
end's
time we go
eyes.
to the
It's
depths
like
of
somebody
hell
punching
itself.
a bowl of spaghetti or something.
It's raining blood. Is he crying?
Yes. I don't know if Snake can see the sorrow here. I don't think he can. I think it's later on after he almost explodes and turns into paste is when he can see the sorrow. Obscure Japanese mythology reference. Legitimately though, why does he have lightning powers? I don't think they ever explain it.
Ah, what a joy.
Like, I'm not asking for like a full-on like explanation. Just be like, yeah, he like stuck his dick in a transformer and
to my unit.
it turned into this. It's an electrical transformer, mind you, not a Autobots transformer.
I'm defecting to the
I don't think they were
Soviet
around
Union.
in the Vietnam War.
Sokolov is a little gift from my new hosts.
Snake is very
Recoilless nuclear
crestfallen about that.
warheads. These will make a fine gift for me.
This can't be happening.
This can't be
Who
happening.
is he? Another one of your disciples?
I mean, couldn't the boss just have gotten him like a
we
big,
taking him with us?
one of them big baskets of
No,
smoked cheese
this
and
one is
meats?
still just
I
a
think
child.
Vulcan probably
Too
would have liked
pure
that
for us
just as
Cobras.
much as the nuclear weapons.
He has not yet found an emotion to carry into battle.
That's not true.
What are you
I have the
talking
emotion
about?
of the snake.
Think you can pull the trigger?
It's all right.
See
Snakes
my face.
don't have arms. I can still kick your ass.
If Khrushchev finds out about this, we're finished.
I do like how he fights using rifle bullets as like brass knuckles.
He must die.
He must die.
Wait. He's my apprentice. I'll take care of him. Jack, you can't come with us.
Slowly. Tease it. Tease it. My turn. Uh-oh. Arm's broken. I do like this scene where he gets her bandana this way. I'm probably clipping the mic something horrendous by doing this, by the way. My apologies.
Are we done here?
Are we done here? I want to go home and
Now,
play with
on
my
to
new toy.
Sokolov's research facility.
Shagohod.
I've got a hankering for smoked cheese and smoked meats. Summer sausage is what I like. I guess he does, doesn't he? In more ways than one.
Drift away. My place is with them now.
Dying. You know, I've never tested if you wear different camo, will like the dampness and blood be reflected in that? I imagine it would. If this wasn't a cutscene, I'd be dead right now. Because I think they're just using a damp texture, so I'd imagine so. Like if Snake was naked when he went flying off the bridge, would that still be...
Snake, can you hear me?
Yeah,
Yeah,
just barely.
just barely.
Snake, listen to me. You need emergency medical treatment. Can you move? You've got to get those wounds treated. Hang in there. All right, let's get you fixed up. Paramedic?
Okay, Snake. Just relax and it'll all be over before you know it.
Pain.
Stay with me. I've seen people in worse shape before. Think you can handle it?
No, I can't handle anything anymore.
Boss,
My arm's broken.
she's defected.
We'll talk about that later. First, we've got to get you patched up.
Okay, here we go. First, open the survival viewer with the start button.
Paramedic.
If you select
Your
Cure,
voice.
you can start the treatment.
It's changed.
Healing is
I think
divided
my
into
hearing's
treatment
going
using
crazy.
medicine and surgical treatment. Your injuries include a fractured left elbow and rib bone, and lacerations on your upper arms, right elbow,
Heather Haley,
and
the voice actress for
abdomen. They need
Paramedic.
to
I
be
think she
fixed using
does.
surgical treatment.
I know
First,
she did
select
voice
the
work for
affected
Soul
part of your
Calibur,
body by
and I
using a
think
touch
she did some
screen.
anime stuff
Once you've
too.
done so, a list of medical items will be displayed.
But
Choose
it's
the
weird
item
how
you
she's
want to
directed here.
use,
She's
then press
directed
the
to
enter button.
enunciate and
With
like
this method, you can use
enunciate
items to help
and
your recovery
pronounce
process.
everything very
Treat bone
elongated so
fracture.
that
First, secure
it
the
kind of
affected area
stays
with a
a bit
fastener
too
and
long,
wrap it in bandages.
longer than
That should
would
do it.
normally
For
be.
lacerations, you'll need disinfectant to clean the wound.
Like she was fine in
sutures
her
to
original
stitch it
voice
up,
direction, but for
stitches
these
to slow the
retakes,
flow of blood,
like
and
she was
bandages
directed
to wrap
to
the
like
wound. If you do everything I
legitimately like
mentioned,
say
the
things like
wound should
Snake
heal
is fucking
completely.
retarded. So
Understood?
yeah.
Stay with me. Go into the survival viewer and treat those wounds.
Don't worry, baby. I'll take care of things lickety slip. Slip, split, slip. Oh, you have to touch the... Actually, no, this is a good time to fucking figure this out. How do you use the fake death pill? Or... Okay, you just use the revival pill, that's fine. Okay. We need that for later. Oh, you still have to touch the use icon, okay. I have to remember that, because if I use the face button, it'll just hit continue. Alright. We gotta fix my boo-boos up. Broken bone. Now, going all the way back to when I fucking started recording here, I did mention that a family friend was playing through this game. And I remember very distinctly, when we got to this point, all he did was, he would just do this, watch. He would just use everything. He wouldn't think, he would just use everything. But now we're grown-ass men, so I can actually think and not use up all my medical supplies. But yeah, no, during my first couple playthroughs, I thought that's just how it was. Like, you just had to use everything. So that's what I did. It wasn't until a lot later that I realized, like, hey, specific illnesses and injuries, like, need specific things. So I can just do that and save. I have the exact same feeling sometimes when I wake up and I gotta like crack my neck or like fucking hands or something. Also, by the way, for those of you who say popping your knuckles and exploding them and making the air come out and make those pop noises is bad, apparently some fucking wise guy scientist did it for, I want to say like 10 years. And like he popped all the knuckles on one of his hands. Just one of his hands. And he did it for 10 years. And then he concluded that that doesn't actually like hurt you in any way. So
We're coming to get you now. Just
there you
stay
go.
where you are. We'll drop a recovery balloon. Can you set it up?
Now, of course, that only really applies to knuckles and hands. I don't know if you do that to your neck for 10 years, whether or not you end up nearly headless, but, you know. Ooh, also check this out. Ooh, is that? Look at the glasses that you can see a lot better now because they're not in PS2. I never saw those glasses before, holy shit. But yeah, that was the body of the Sorrow, who appeared behind the boss earlier, but...
Shagohod.
Oh, I love this scene right here. So apparently in the original design document here, when the boss reaches out, she's apparently actually like throwing her bandana away, and then Snake reaches out and catches it. But when they were doing the recording, the demo team decided to be a lot cooler to move it to, you know, on the bridge, when the boss throws Snake off and like he gets the bandana there. So I think that's pretty cool. Fucking Ocelot. Also, why is the other Ocelot behind him? Why is he just using a normal AK? He's not using those AMD 65s or any of the other black guns. None of the specialized guns. I always found that weird as a kid. A summer sausage. Just what I always wanted. Great success, yes, very nice. We have Davy Crockett now, very nice. Who's that? Colonel, when did we have female NPCs in this game other than the boss?
What are we going to do with the girl?
Who is she?
Apparently she's Sokolov's woman.
How did Sokolov get with the chick that hot, seriously?
Nice catch. I'll take her. Not so fast, my dear.
A kiss of death. I don't think that would actually work against Vulcan anyway. Even if she did it at the right at the last second, I think he would just turn on his electromagnetic field and divert the bullet.
Are you KGB?
We may be able to use her. Spunk.
She's got spunk and moxie. Also, she may or may not be a double agent, just like everybody else in this fucking game.
Take her back to the base.
Perhaps we should. We have no further use for Sokolov's research facility. I think it's time I gave this marvelous new toy a try.
I get that the back is open too, but like, wouldn't the back blast legitimately turn the helicopter inside out? If anything, it would fucking incinerate Ocelot.
You're going to nuke your fellow Russians?
Remember the Alamo.
Colonel!
Bit of lag there. Smoke particles. And that's it. That's the end of the game, ladies and gentlemen. Just kidding. Pain. I've always liked how it pushes Snake back a little bit. The shockwave of the explosion. Isn't it kind of dangerous for me to be close to this? Fuck, I messed it up. Isn't it kind of dangerous for me to be this close to a nuclear explosion? Yes, I will absolutely save. Oh. Alright, so you only get one save slot, huh? But after this we get Snake Eater, boys! Oh, shit! Or I guess we don't. guess the emulator doesn't like the Snake Eater video. Oh shit, that might be a problem. Uh-oh. That's a big uh-oh. That's a very big uh-oh. I guess we can't watch the Snake Eater video. But that also means... because we saved before it. Oh shit. Well, we'll see, we'll see. We'll see if we can progress. So what happens when I load? Do I load after that video or do I load before it? Is this the end of the playthrough? Oh no, we're fine. Okay, cool. That's interesting, it doesn't like Snake Eater. Alright.
Currently flying over the Arctic Ocean, altitude 30,000 feet, approaching Soviet airspace. Arriving at the designated drone launch point. Drone oil pressure and
The SR-71, but the prototype version because it's silver here.
is nominal. Power supply to payload antifreeze system shows no problems. No gusts. All systems go for drone detachment.
Snake, we can't risk a halo jump this time around. Airspace security has gotten tighter since we were last here. We can't get as close to the ground as we did during the Virtuous mission. So instead, we'll be using one of our newest weapons. Snake, you're being given an honor.
Basically, we're gonna load you onto a big fuck-ass missile and then launch you at Russia.
Show your patriotism. If you fail, you'll be back in a hospital bed again, waiting for the firing squad.
Back to the Northern Lights. Always looking nice.
So how does it feel to be a
Oh
patient in
god,
one
this
of
is
the
gonna go
most
so
advanced ICUs
fast.
in the world?
Would you do me a favor and tell the suits about visiting hours? I'll never get better.
This
with
game's
that
also the
assault
first time I ever heard the
with
term
questions.
scapegoat, and I didn't fully understand what it
Must be
meant.
part of the top brass's inquiry.
More like an interrogation.
Like, they're looking for a
According to them,
scapegoat, and I'm like,
traitor and an
why are they
accomplice to the
looking for
boss's
a goat?
defection.
They're just looking for a scapegoat.
Exactly.
Does that mean they're after you too?
Let's just say neither one of us is going to be made a national hero out of this.
Like,
Does
Major
this mean Fox is going to
Major
die?
Zero's already given Snake
No.
his fucking cigar.
Fox
We
is
are
still one step
we
ahead
are
of the
blasting
The
so
reason I
fucking
came to see you
Festivus.
today,
Here,
Jack,
have a
it's time
cigar,
for
it's
Fox
Cuban.
to clear its name.
What are you talking about?
The situation has changed. We've still got a chance to come out of this one alive.
Yeah, what kind of chance?
Don't get too excited. Here, have a cigar. It's Cuban. This morning, I had a meeting with the CIA.
They decided when they're going to execute us?
No,
Something even
something
bigger.
even bigger. Yesterday, the White House received an unexpected call.
Yeah, it's doubled up the visuals here.
Yes.
I hear you, Mr. Chairman.
It was a hotline call from Khrushchev to President Johnson.
From the head of the Soviet Union?
That's right.
A few days ago, one of our country's main design bureaus, OKB-754, was destroyed in a nuclear explosion. At about the same time, our anti-aircraft radar picked up a signature that appeared to come from one of your military aircraft. Does
Now, my question here is, like, so they didn't, like, well, I guess they didn't really have anything like radar evading back then. But I would have thought they would at least, like, have some kind of top secret, like, coding or something on the plane to, like, not have it be detected as easily. Or maybe it was working this entire time, and just, you know, coincidentally, after all this shit went down, the mechanism finally failed, and then they were able to be seen by the Russians.
If I am to survive this crisis, I must have your full cooperation.
I should have contacted
I
you
should have
myself.
contacted you
Did
myself.
You know that one of our soldiers defected to your country a week ago?
No.
So you haven't heard that. The man who arranged the defection was a GRU colonel by
the name of Yevgeny Borisovich Volgin.
Volgin.
Apparently, he's got electricity coursing through his veins, and he can punch people with rifle bullets, and it turns them into paste.
Her name
He's a
is
very
Boss.
scary man, very dangerous
Living
man. I'm
legend.
personally afraid of him myself.
During World War II, she was the one who led us to victory in that war. In Russia, you know her as Voyevode.
Also, shout out to the boss fucking kicking ass in World War II.
The boss?
If I remember correctly, Hideo Kojima wanted to make a game based on
That's the one.
the
And
boss's
she took
exploits
2
in World War
miniature
II.
nuclear shells
And like you'd run
along with
around as the boss and like mess around with the Cobra Unit, but it just never
I'm afraid
materialized.
so. I believe they were a gift for her new hosts. The Davy Crockett Atomic Battle Group delivery system was completed 2 years ago. But serious problems were found with the launcher's range and precision. Although they were mass-produced, they've never been deployed in battle.
Until now.
But Sokolov's research facility.
But if I remember correctly, the actual Davy Crockett's like they can't even hit like the maximum range for safe detonation. Like no matter what happens, you fire it off and like it'll impact and you're gonna get irradiated no matter what happens. I think that actually is a big problem with them. That's back when we were like messing around with atomic stuff all the time.
Sokolov's design lab, a top-secret military research facility, was destroyed by one of these weapons. Am I right so far?
Yes,
that's correct.
And the American government denies any involvement in the affair. Is that right as well?
That's correct. We were
not involved in any way.
Then what was a U.S. military aircraft doing on our radar screen? It was clearly in violation of our airspace.
I see a couple relatives of mine wanted to take a look around, do one of them around the world in 80 days kind of tour. And I told them to cut through your territory. I thought you'd be okay with it. I'm already losing the accent. Why do we even try anymore?
Insist that this is all a ploy on your part.
I've said it once and I'll say it again. Our government had nothing to do with it.
Ah, yes, the classic. Look, I've said it once and I'll say it again.
However, I'm afraid
our government had nothing to do with it.
Has weakened since the Cuban incident. I will need some kind of proof that this was not the action of the American government.
I could send you a big basket full of smoked cheese and summer sausage. We also got some of them garlic buttery spreads. I really like using them. And I'll give you some biscuits too, free of charge.
You must find some way to prove your innocence.
Prove our innocence?
Yes.
Preferably something tasty and painful. Named Dracula, Transylvania.
The boss should be close to Colonel Volgin. How about a little coaction?
I would not expect to.
I also didn't know what coaction meant either. I did not realize that that meant two people working together. I just thought it was some kind of murder plot. Which I guess it kind of is in this kind of case.
It's not too much to ask. Do something about Volgin as well.
What is that supposed to mean?
Nothing.
Nothing.
Means nothing.
It means nothing.
Call
it a modest gentleman's agreement to show a continued relationship. You kill somebody and give me smoked cheese, and we can be friends forever.
Then I will be unable to restrain the military.
And some blood because I'm Dracula.
Seek their revenge.
A nuclear attack on the United States?
Was the Star Wars program active during this time? So, for a bit of a history lesson, the American government did some experimenting with laser weapons, and the public called it the Star Wars project. But basically, if they fired missiles at us, we would use lasers to shoot them down. But then the project was deemed a failure after a while. I don't know if this is before or after that. They don't make a mention of it at all in the game, so I guess it's either or, but
You were her last apprentice. Screw this one up.
like
We'll both be 6 feet
with
under.
how information was kind of controlled and dispersed during this era, wouldn't the Russians be okay, give us some lasers or something like that?
Are the Russians going to be?
Oh, check this out.
The
So you can look,
KGB
and this
has
is cool,
promised to
right?
lend us one of their
But I didn't know until a lot later that if you looked all the way up, you can see a picture of Yumi Kikuchi.
That's it.
Who, if you played Metal Gear Solid 4, she is the
Insiders.
body model for...
There was a defection in September
Is it Raging
1960.
Raven? The really hot
Elaborate?
member of the Beauty and the
You
Beast,
mean the two NSA
the B&B
codebreakers who
Corps.
went over to the Soviet Union?
Well, I mean, they're all hot, but she's
Precisely.
especially hot.
Since then, They've apparently been training with the KGB for exactly this kind of situation. Their code names are Adam and Eva.
Adam and Eva.
I've been told that Adam has infiltrated Volgin's ranks. We've also arranged for him to provide you with an escape route. You'll need to rendezvous with him when you get there.
I want to point out, Snake's probably pulling like fucking a million G's in this thing, and he doesn't have like a pressurized suit or anything. Like, I think they say he's exceeding Mach 3. He's probably hitting like 1,000 Gs.
Control. Unidentified aircraft detected.
At least 2.
30,000 feet.
Like right now, Snake's asshole is right where the top of his head is.
It's fast. Estimated airspeed exceeding Mach 3.
Ah, see?
Bearing south. I'm about to lose it.
Yeah, and so is Snake, man. He's hanging on for dear life. Alright, now I'm a bit worried that, like, one of the cinematics will fail, just like the Snake Eater. I hope it's just the Snake Eater video that fails. So I'm gonna have like a mini heart attack every time the screen goes black. That's a cutscene. And fucking, I just love how he like just dusts himself off like, fucking hell.
This is Snake. Do you read me?
Loud and clear. Glad to see you landed safely.
I got blown pretty far off target.
Snake, let's go over your mission objectives one more time.
The audio sounded a bit weird there.
Sokolov. Find out what's happened to the Shagohod.
I don't think they re-recorded that because Major Zero is still a bit low.
Eliminate the boss.
Eliminate the boss.
The beginning audio
This
there was a
mission
bit
will be
weird.
codenamed Operation Snake Eater.
Because I'll be taking on the boss in our Cobra Unit, right?
Don't forget about Colonel Volgin.
I'm not a hired killer. I'm the
That was the
Snake.
Kremlin's demand.
Demand? You mean it wasn't just a request? What's it to us if the cruise ship
It's more of like a
is threatened by the
thinly
current
veiled, like, hey, do this or we will get destroyed, and then you guys will get destroyed. But it's still a request.
And what are the CIA's demands?
Our priorities are the rescue of Sokolov and the destruction of the Shagohod.
Roger that, Major Tom.
Hold on, Snake.
What now?
I'm changing my codename. It turns out Tom wasn't the most auspicious choice.
I really like this David Bowie reference, but
the truth is,
we've
when
got
I
to
chose
change.
my codename, I picked the wrong one.
The wrong one?
Did you ever see the movie The Great Escape?
I mean, it's also a reference to The Great Escape as well. Which, as a kid, that's what I thought it only was a reference to, but... Yes, Major Tom.
The prisoners dig 3 tunnels as part of their
Ground
plan,
control
but the
to
Nazis find 2 of the
Major
tunnels before they're
Tom.
finished. Prisoners succeed in
Commencing
escaping by using the last
countdown
remaining tunnel.
engines on.
The names of those 3 tunnels were Dick, Harry, and Tom.
I get it. You used the name of the tunnel they escaped in as your code name because you thought it would bring you good luck.
It's also a very good
Exactly
David
right.
Bowie
At least
reference.
That was the plan.
But
I got the name wrong. The one they escaped in was Harry. Tom was one of the
I did see this movie recently, I want to say. Yeah, actually, yeah, I did see this movie recently. So I think only out of 200 people, I want to say maybe 20 or 30 of them actually got out. And then they all got recaptured, except for one of them. And he says here that Major Harry, he says that the Harry tunnel is the one that succeeds, but it only succeeds for a little bit. Because it gets discovered later. It's kind of a sad thing.
Oh, I almost
It's still a good movie.
Paramedic is with us again on this mission.
Ah, paramedic.
her last chance too.
If we fail, she'll have her medical license revoked. It's more or less the same kind of fate. Her frequency is the same as during the Virtuous mission. 145
I do wonder how they decide
You'll be recording your
their
mission
frequencies
data
for
as well,
this.
just like the last time.
Like
That frequency is
140.96
also the
and 140.85, like those are series mainstays.
And there's one more person.
But like for the
support
other
team.
frequencies, how
His
do they
name is
decide
Mr.
those, I
Sigurd.
wonder?
He's an expert on the latest in weapons and equipment technology. You'll be going up against some of the world's most advanced weaponry when you infiltrate the research facility. If you have any questions, just ask him. His frequency is
148.41.
Mr. Sigint, got it.
Adam, your KGB contact, is waiting for you at the abandoned factory up ahead.
The same factory Sokolov was being held in last week.
Yes, meet up with Adam first. He's cleared the way for
Also,
you to
isn't
rescue
this whole
Sokolov.
area supposed to be highly irradiated because of the fucking nuclear
You'll know once
blast?
you reach the factory. The whole area has been polluted by the fallout.
Yeah,
from that nuclear
exactly.
blast. No one else would dare come close. The password is
Also,
Who are the Patriots?
who are the Patriots?
And Lali Lule Lo.
Lale Lulelo.
Gotcha.
You've been equipped with a 45 for this mission.
Ah, the
Be
1911.
careful, It's noisy.
I thought standard Fox procedure was procure on-site weapons acquisition.
The circumstances are different this time.
But like I was saying before, like the Major says that no one would dare come close, but we do run into patrols, so that's kind of, well, you know. And they're not wearing any like
But remember,
any PPE or anything, no hazmat suits or anything. But I guess
all
so
out
is Snake,
nuclear war.
so you know.
Keep that in mind and proceed with extreme caution.
Understood. Commencing Operation Snake Eater.
Beginning Operation Snake Eater. In a little bit, first I want to talk to paramedic and Mr. Sigint, as it is.
Paramedic.
Snake, it's so good to hear from you again.
Same here. It's been
Also, I want to point out, so when they did the HD collection,
I visited you in the hospital.
or the HD remaster or whatever, they messed up paramedic's portrait, because as you can see here too, this one here, number 2, this is what her portrait is in the PlayStation 2 version. But when they quote-unquote remastered it or upscaled it or whatever, they messed up her default portrait, and it's like, it's not even here. It's like a beta portrait where she's kind of like looking to the right, I want to say, a little bit. But I've always liked this portrait more.
If you're
That's how it
wounded
should
or
be.
get bitten by a venomous animal, go into the survival viewer immediately and treat yourself using Cure.
Yeah.
I can see you still know how to nag.
You're welcome. And I can see you still don't know when to keep your mouth shut.
Maybe so.
Maybe so.
By the way, I heard you're going to lose your
I do like
medical
paramedic
license
in this game. She's very
details.
nice. She's got a very
There was talk of that, but the mission won't
soothing
fail,
voice as well.
will it?
It's like it's very solid. It's
Good.
very
I believe in
soothing.
you. But you know what? I really don't care about my medical license.
Didn't they use that to force you to participate in this operation?
No, I volunteered.
Why?
Why the hell would you
so
do
that I could
that?
watch over you. Snake, you're the best agent I've ever seen. But you push yourself too hard. You're reckless. Someone has to stop you from getting into trouble to make sure you and the boss don't kill each other.
But doesn't paramedic know that like I have to go in there and blast the boss to
I
fuck?
mean, you couldn't ask for a better guardian angel than me, right?
Thanks.
Thanks.
Stop right there. You can thank me when you get back.
All right.
Sexually, I imagine.
Yo, you Snake.
Oh, fucking Sigint. You're the best. I love
I
Sigint.
heard that you're an expert on weapons.
He was always the best person to call because like he would just talk about guns.
Close.
Guns and camo.
I am the expert on weapons, equipment, and cutting-edge technology.
My
I'm the
boy.
guy that designed your trank gun, active sonar, and motion detector. If you want to know anything about weapons or equipment you find in the field, just send me a message and ask. Later.
Until next time, Sigint. You're a cool dude. Alright, let's save it up here, and then I'll
Saving
continue.
a game, Snake?
Yes, please. That's so weird that it doesn't go into like an optional menu.
Hey, Snake, you ever heard of Godzilla King of Monsters?
No, what is it?
It's a movie. You haven't seen it?
Nope.
It's about this monster called Godzilla who grows to an enormous size in a nuclear test and goes on a rampage in Tokyo.
Nuclear test, huh? Then
The Marshall Islands must be crawling with giant monsters right about now.
It's just make-believe.
Maybe that's why my pants have been so tight lately. Hint, hint.
It's a movie, not a report out of Los Alamos.
I know. So then what happened?
I do like the
Godzilla's
relationship that these
immune
two
to
have,
all
though.
weapons, and
They're kind
humanity has
of...
no way to stop the
They
monster.
banter off of each other
Dr.
very well.
Shirazawa develops a new
And
type
they're
of
both very
weapon.
sarcastic.
Meanwhile,
Or they can be
Godzilla's
when they
getting
want to.
closer and closer to Tokyo, obliterating
It's a damn
everything
shame
in
what
its
happens
path.
in the future. But
It was
here,
originally a Japanese
it's still pretty good.
movie, but they made an American version too. I recommend seeing the original Japanese one if you ever get the
Dubs
chance.
versus subs.
It's mostly mindless fun,
Fucking
but it's also
subs.
got a
She's a
serious
subs only
anti-war
girl.
message as well.
My type of girl.
Where can I see the original?
You'll just have to go to Japan.
Really? That's too bad.
Well, if you wait 40 years, you might be able to see it in America too.
Why's that?
2004 will be Godzilla's 50th birthday.
Also, 2004 is when Snake Eater came out.
Of course.
Or is it 2005?
Everybody loves Godzilla.
I don't remember.
You sure know a lot about movies.
I don't suppose you're the movie-watching type, are you?
Not really.
Not really.
Okay,
The Snake
then I'll tell you
kind of
everything I know.
just
When the
plays
going gets
movies.
tough, movies can save your life. It's always good to be able to look at things from a different perspective when you get in a jam. That's the magic of movies.
No kidding. Well, I guess it might at least make a nice distraction.
That's the spirit, Snake. Have a little fun.
Okay, okay. Whatever you say.